Imagine a young boy who is taken away from his family at the age of 7 and sent to a harsh military training camp. He has to endure cold, hunger, pain, and constant discipline. He has to fight for his food, his clothes, and his survival. He has to learn how to be brave, strong, loyal, and obedient. He has to become a Spartan warrior. He must learn to wield a sword, ride a horse, and endure enormous physical exertion. On some days, he was dripping with sweat and almost in tears during the joint combat exercises. But he knew he had to persevere. This is the reality of ancient Sparta, a city-state in Greece that was famous for its military prowess and its austere way of life. The Spartans were the elite soldiers of their time, who fought with courage, skill, and honor. They were also the followers of a philosophy that taught them how to live with virtue, wisdom, and self-control. Stoicism is a school of Hellenistic philosophy that flourished in ancient Greece and ancient Rome. The Stoics believed that the practice of virtue is enough to achieve eudaimonia, a well-lived, flourishing life. The Stoics identified the path to achieving it with a life spent practicing certain virtues in everyday life such as courage or temperance and living in accordance with nature.
In this video, we will explore 12 Spartan lessons that will immediately change your life. These lessons are based on the teachings of Stoicism and the examples of the Spartans. They will help you to become more resilient, confident, disciplined, and happy. They will help you to face any challenge, overcome any obstacle, and achieve any goal. But before we dive into these lessons, please make sure to activate the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our future videos. Don't be weak and stay till the end. You won't regret it. Lesson 1. Control what you can, accept what you can't. One of the core principles of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. This means that there are things that are under our control, and things that are not. The things that are under our control are our thoughts, our emotions, our actions, and our reactions. The things that are not under our control are everything else: the weather, the economy, the opinions of others, the actions of others, and so on. The Stoics taught that we should focus on the things that are under our control, and ignore or accept the things that are not. By doing so, we can avoid unnecessary stress, anxiety, anger, and frustration. We can also increase our effectiveness, productivity, and happiness. The Spartans were masters of this principle. They knew that they could not control the outcome of a battle, but they could control how they prepared for it, how they fought in it, and how they responded to it. They did not waste their energy on worrying about the odds, the enemies, or the consequences. They focused on their duty, their courage, and their honor. They accepted whatever fate had in store for them, whether it was victory or death. We can apply this lesson to our own lives by asking ourselves, what can I control, and what can I not control? Then, we can act accordingly. For example, if we have a job interview, we can control how we prepare for it, how we present ourselves, and how we answer the questions. We cannot control the interviewer's mood, the competition, or the final decision. Therefore, we should do our best, and then let go of the outcome. We should not worry about things that are beyond our power. Lesson 2. Embrace challenges, don't avoid them. Another key principle of Stoicism is the concept of amor fati, which means love of fate. This means that we should not only accept what happens to us, but also embrace it, and even be grateful for it. The Stoics believed that everything that happens to us is either good, or an opportunity to grow. The Spartans had a similar attitude. They did not shy away from challenges, but welcomed them. They saw challenges as tests of their character, their skills, and their values. They saw challenges as chances to prove themselves, to improve themselves, and to serve their community. They saw challenges as gifts from the gods, who wanted them to become better. We can apply this lesson to our own lives by changing our perspective on the difficulties we face. Instead of seeing them as problems, we can see them as opportunities. Instead of complaining about them, we can be thankful for them. Instead of avoiding them, we can embrace them. For example, if we have a difficult project at work, we can see it as an opportunity to learn new skills, to demonstrate our abilities, and to contribute to our team. We can be grateful for the challenge, and embrace it with enthusiasm. Lesson 3. Train your body, train your mind. The Spartans were known for their physical fitness and their mental toughness. They trained their bodies and their minds every day, from childhood to old age. They exercised, practiced and competed in various disciplines, such as running, wrestling, boxing, javelin, discus, and chariot racing. They also studied, debated, and memorized poetry, history, and philosophy. They believed that a healthy body and a healthy mind were essential for a good life. The Stoics also valued physical and mental training. They practiced various exercises to strengthen their bodies, such as walking, running, swimming, and lifting. They also practiced various exercises to strengthen their minds, such as meditation, journaling, self-examination, and reading. They believed that by training their bodies and their minds, they could improve their health, their happiness, and their virtue. We can apply this lesson to our own lives by making physical and mental training a part of our daily routine. We can exercise our bodies by doing some form of physical activity, such as walking, jogging, cycling, or playing a sport. We can exercise our minds by doing some form of mental activity, such as reading, writing, learning, or meditating. We can also challenge ourselves by trying new things, learning new skills, or setting new goals. By training our bodies and our minds, we can enhance our well-being, our performance, and our character. Lesson 4, Live simply, live fully. The Spartans were famous for their simplicity and their frugality. They lived in modest houses, wore simple clothes, ate plain food, and owned few possessions. They avoided luxury, extravagance, and indulgence. They valued quality over quantity, and necessity over desire. They believed that by living simply, they could live fully. They could focus on what mattered most, such as their family, their friends, their community, and their duty. They could also be more independent, more self-reliant, and more content. The Stoics also advocated a simple and frugal lifestyle. They advised us to live according to nature, and not according to convention. They urged us to be content with what we have, and not to crave what we don't. They warned us to be wary of the dangers of wealth, fame, and pleasure, which can corrupt our souls, distract our minds, and enslave our wills. They taught us to be grateful for the essentials, such as food, shelter, clothing, and health, and to be indifferent to the non-essentials, such as money, status, entertainment, and fashion. They believed that by living simply, we could live fully. We could cultivate our virtues, such as wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, and achieve our happiness. We can apply this lesson to our own lives by simplifying our lives and reducing our wants. We can declutter our homes, our closets, and our desks, and get rid of the things that we don't need, use, or love. We can also declutter our minds, our schedules, and our relationships, and get rid of the things that don't add value, meaning, or joy to our lives. We can also be more mindful of our consumption, and avoid buying, eating, or doing things that are harmful, wasteful, or unnecessary. By living simply, we can live fully. We can free up our time, our energy, and our resources, and use them for the things that truly matter, such as our growth, our service, and our happiness. Lesson 5, Be loyal, be honorable. The Spartans were renowned for their loyalty and their honor. They were loyal to their family, their friends, their comrades, and their city. They were honorable in their words, their deeds, their oaths, and their contracts. They did not lie, cheat, steal, or betray. They did not break their promises, their agreements, or their laws. They respected their elders, their superiors, their equals, and their inferiors. They defended their rights, their values, and their ideals. They believed that by being loyal and honorable, they could live with dignity, integrity, and pride. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of loyalty and honor. They considered them to be essential virtues for a good life. They regarded loyalty as a form of justice, and honor as a form of wisdom. They encouraged us to be loyal to our rational nature, our moral principles, and our fellow human beings. They also encouraged us to be honorable in our thoughts, our words, and our actions. They advised us to be honest, fair, trustworthy, and reliable. They also advised us to be respectful, courteous, generous, and magnanimous. They believed that by being loyal and honorable, we could live with harmony, peace, and joy. We can apply this lesson to our own lives by being loyal and honorable in our personal and professional relationships. We can be loyal to our family, our friends, our colleagues, and our partners. We can be honorable in our communication, our work, our decisions, and our behavior. We can also be loyal and honorable to ourselves by being true to our values, our goals, and our potential. By being loyal and honorable, we can build trust, respect, and admiration with others, and with ourselves. Lesson 6. Be courageous, be confident. The Spartans were admired for their courage and their confidence. They were courageous in the face of danger, adversity, and death. They were confident in their abilities, their training, and their destiny. They did not fear anything, except dishonor. They did not doubt themselves, or their comrades. They believed that by being courageous and confident, they could overcome any challenge, achieve any victory, and fulfill any duty. The Stoics also praised courage and confidence as virtues. They defined courage as the rational control of fear, and confidence as the rational belief in oneself. They instructed us to be courageous and confident in our actions, our choices, and our judgments. They taught us to face our fears, to confront our difficulties, and to endure our hardships. They also taught us to trust our reason, to rely on our skills, and to follow our conscience. They believed that by being courageous and confident, we could act with wisdom, justice, and honor. We can apply this lesson to our own lives by being courageous and confident in our situations, our opportunities, and our dreams. We can be courageous and confident in our situations by facing the reality of our circumstances and taking action to improve them. We can be courageous and confident in our opportunities by seizing the chances that come our way and making the most of them. We can be courageous and confident in our dreams by pursuing our passions and fulfilling our purpose. By being courageous and confident, we can live with freedom, excellence, and joy. Lesson 7. Be disciplined, be consistent. The Spartans were respected for their discipline and their consistency. They were disciplined in their habits, their routines, and their rules. They were consistent in their performance, their standards, and their results. They did not deviate from their plans, their goals, or their principles. They did not compromise on their quality, their efficiency, or their effectiveness. They believed that by being disciplined and consistent, they could master their skills, their tasks, and their lives. The Stoics also valued discipline and consistency as keys to success. They advised us to be disciplined and consistent in our thoughts, our words, and our deeds. They recommended us to have a clear and coherent vision of what we want to achieve, and how we want to achieve it. They also recommended us to have a regular and reliable schedule of what we need to do, and when we need to do it. They believed that by being disciplined and consistent, we could align our actions with our values, our goals, and our happiness. We can apply this lesson to our own lives by being disciplined and consistent in our learning, our working, and our living. We can be disciplined and consistent in our learning by acquiring new knowledge, skills, and insights every day, and applying them to our problems, projects, and passions. We can be disciplined and consistent in our working by delivering high-quality, high-impact, and high-value work every day, and improving our productivity, creativity, and satisfaction. We can be disciplined and consistent in our living by practicing healthy, positive, and meaningful habits every day, and enhancing our well-being, our relationships, and our happiness. By being disciplined and consistent, we can achieve our potential, our excellence, and our fulfillment. Lesson 8. Be humble, be grateful. The Spartans were admired for their humility and their gratitude. They were humble in their attitude, their speech, and their behavior. They were grateful for their blessings, their opportunities, and their challenges. They did not boast, brag, or show off. They did not take anything for granted, or complain about anything. They acknowledged their strengths, their weaknesses, and their limits. They appreciated their gifts, their resources, and their fate. They believed that by being humble and grateful, they could live with respect, grace, and joy. The Stoics also taught us to be humble and grateful for our lives. They reminded us to be humble and grateful for our nature, our reason, and our virtue. They also reminded us to be humble and grateful for our fortune, our providence, and our fate. They instructed us to be humble and grateful in our thoughts, our words, and our actions. They urged us to be humble and grateful for the good things that happen to us, and for the bad things that don't. They also urged us to be humble and grateful for the bad things that happen to us, and for the good things that come from them. They believed that by being humble and grateful, we could live with wisdom, peace, and happiness. We can apply this lesson to our own lives by being humble and grateful for our existence, our experiences, and our opportunities. We can be humble and grateful for our existence by recognizing the miracle of our being, the beauty of our world, and the mystery of our universe. We can be humble and grateful for our experiences by cherishing the moments that make us smile, the people that make us love, and the lessons that make us grow. We can be humble and grateful for our opportunities by embracing the chances that make us learn, the challenges that make us strong, and the changes that make us better. By being humble and grateful, we can live with awe, love, and joy. Lesson 9. Be adaptable, be resilient. The Spartans were respected for their adaptability and their resilience. They were adaptable to their environment, their circumstances, and their needs. They were resilient to their enemies, their obstacles, and their losses. They did not resist, reject, or regret. They did not give up, give in, or give out. They adapted to the changes, the surprises, and the uncertainties. They also bounced back from the failures, the setbacks, and the disappointments. They believed that by being adaptable and resilient, they could survive any situation, overcome any difficulty, and achieve any goal. The Stoics also encouraged us to be adaptable and resilient in our lives. They taught us to be adaptable and resilient to our fate, our fortune, and our events. They also taught us to be adaptable and resilient to our emotions, our thoughts, and our actions. They advised us to be adaptable and resilient in our expectations, our plans, and our outcomes. They told us to be adaptable and resilient to the things that we cannot control, and to the things that we can. They believed that by being adaptable and resilient, we could cope with any challenge, thrive in any condition, and enjoy any moment. We can apply this lesson to our own lives by being adaptable and resilient to our reality, our opportunities, and our dreams. We can be adaptable and resilient to our reality by accepting the facts of our situation and finding ways to improve it. We can be adaptable and resilient to our opportunities by seizing the possibilities that come our way and making the best of them. We can be adaptable and resilient to our dreams by pursuing our passions and fulfilling our purpose. By being adaptable and resilient, we can live with courage, confidence, and joy. Lesson 10. Be a leader, be a follower. The Spartans were admired for their leadership and their followership. They were leaders in their fields, their roles, and their missions. They were followers of their laws, their customs, and their ideals. They did not hesitate, falter, or waver. They did not disobey, rebel, or dissent. They led by example, by action, and by influence. They also followed by obedience, by loyalty, and by honor. They believed that by being a leader and a follower, they could serve their community, their country, and their cause. The Stoics also taught us to be a leader and a follower in our lives. They taught us to be a leader and a follower of our nature, our reason, and our virtue. They also taught us to be a leader and a follower of our society, our humanity, and our duty. They advised us to be a leader and a follower in our thoughts, our words, and our deeds. They told us to be a leader and a follower of the good, the true, and the beautiful. They believed that by being a leader and a follower, we could contribute to our world, our civilization, and our happiness. We can apply this lesson to our own lives by being a leader and a follower in our roles, our relationships, and our goals. We can be a leader and a follower in our roles by taking responsibility for our tasks, our projects, and our teams. We can be a leader and a follower in our relationships by giving support, guidance, and feedback to our family, our friends, and our colleagues. We can be a leader and a follower in our goals by setting, pursuing, and achieving our personal, professional, and social goals. By being a leader and a follower, we can live with excellence, harmony, and joy. I appreciate you if you have made it this far. Leave a comment if you have learned something new, or if you have any questions. But hold on, there is still one more lesson to learn. Lesson 11. Be a warrior, be a philosopher. The Spartans were revered for their combination of being warriors and philosophers. They were warriors in their spirit, their skill, and their courage. They were philosophers in their mind, their knowledge, and their wisdom. They did not separate the two aspects of their being, but integrated them into a harmonious whole. They learned from the best teachers, such as Pythagoras, Socrates, and Plato. They also taught their own students, such as Xenophon, Plutarch, and Lycurgus. They believed that by being warriors and philosophers, they could live with excellence, virtue, and happiness. The Stoics also aspired to be warriors and philosophers in their lives. They admired the examples of the Spartans, and adopted some of their practices and principles. They also developed their own system of logic, ethics, and physics. They learned from the writings and teachings of Zeno, Cleanthes, and Chrysippus. They also left behind their own works and legacy, such as Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius. They believed that by being warriors and philosophers, they could live with reason, nature, and eudaimonia. We can apply this lesson to our own lives by being warriors and philosophers in our actions, our choices, and our goals. We can be warriors and philosophers in our actions by being brave, strong, and skillful in what we do, and by being thoughtful, rational, and wise in how we do it. We can be warriors and philosophers in our choices by being courageous, confident, and decisive in what we choose, and by being ethical, moral, and virtuous in why we choose it. We can be warriors and philosophers in our goals by being ambitious, passionate, and determined in what we pursue, and by being realistic, logical, and prudent in how we pursue it. By being warriors and philosophers, we can live with dignity, integrity, and joy. This concludes our video on 12 Spartan lessons that will immediately change your life. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something valuable from it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Remember, be a warrior, be a philosopher.